Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? So, continuing on my theme of reviewing other YouTube channels, looking for what they're doing, their success, really getting a feel for the messages that they are delivering because I'm looking to enhance our channel one rental at a time. Eventually I was going to have to get to Stephan, the big grand poobah of finance and YouTube, in my opinion. Young man's 30 years old, 2.3 million subscribers. And in the video I just watched, he indicated he's just shy of $7 million at net worth at 30, which is an amazing accomplishment, especially when you think about the one rental at a time story for me doesn't even begin until I'm 30 years old. So this young man is way, way, way ahead of the game, and he's doing a lot of great things to help folks. So the particular video that I reviewed, he released today, I believe, called 6 Millionaire Habits I Wish I Knew at 20. So I'm going to go ahead and review his list of 6, but I'm going to give you a little extra bonus and actually give you my 6 because I think it'll be slightly different. Graham was a single man through his 20s, and let's just say I was married at 19. So the experience of a 20-year-old that is married versus single, a little bit different. I will say our list of 6 has one in common, but then I went ahead and listed the 5 that I saw as important as well. Not saying that his 6 aren't rock solid, because they are, but I just see the world slightly differently. So without further ado, his list of 6, we'll just go 1 through 6. First one is don't live above your means. I call this sacrifice. Could also be called delayed gratification. This is a big deal. Probably really important to know this one at 18. I remember walking to get books at college and seeing credit card applications around, and they were giving away beer cozies and other things, and kids were just signing up, not really appreciating what they were doing. And very quickly, we're talking 2-3 weeks into the school year, they were already calling their parents going, I don't know what I did. So we need to understand that delayed gratification, live below your means, is okay. Flexing starts early. And if you can just live on a little bit less, have a little bit less nicer car, less nicer clothes, it will pay off, because as Graham points out in his videos, a dollar compounded when you're 20 is a lot more meaningful than a dollar compounded when you're 30. It's just time, right? So that is a big one, and that's the one I agree with. It also starts with my number 1, but we will get to that in a minute. Number 2, not building up a credit history. That's a good one. I would not have included that. My experience with college kids at 20 is they frankly did it badly. I went to Santa Clara University here in California, and I still remember, like I said earlier, students would run up, they'd line up, they'd sign up for this and that. So they were building history. It was just the wrong history. So Graham does a great job in his video linking to something else he does, how you can get to a perfect credit score in 2 years by just tying a couple of monthly expenses to your credit card and then paying them off every month so don't get charged interest. That's the kind of stuff we need to do. If you are going to get a credit card, let's make them monthly expenses. Make sure you're paying it off, and learn early. I saw lots of 20-year-olds kind of make that mistake. Number 3, don't wait for things to happen. This one I thought was a really powerful statement. And Graham in his video goes into his example about when he got his realtor license, and he would sit at his desk and he'd kind of wait for clients to come in. And then he realized that he owned it. He needed to make a schedule. He needed to go after, he needed to do the effort. And I think that's something all of us can take from that story is, especially in the beginning, fail forward. Just get after it and learn from your mistakes. You're 20, for heaven's sakes. Very few things will damage you permanently at 20. So learn, move forward, and keep going forward. Number 4 for him was don't play it too safe and take more risks. I like this one. Again, he gave a very, very personal story about people would invite him to events and he didn't go because he was going to be quote unquote the odd guy or the single guy in the room. And, probably would have made lots of great connections had he gone. He's very personable. So to look yourself in the mirror and put that out there is great. But let's realize there is the opposite. There are some 20-year-olds who are taking nothing but risk. So evaluate who you are and realize that risk is okay, but only risk or only elevated risk might not be the right thing to do. No one has it all figured out. I am so glad he put that there. 20-year-olds around the world need to hear that. Nobody's got it figured out at 20. Shoot. For that matter, nobody's got it figured out at 50. We're all humans. We're all trying to do the best we can. The one thing that the 20-year-olds today have to deal with that I didn't have to deal with is social media. Everybody only posts the highlight reel. Man, if we don't know that by now, just internalize that. No one has it all figured out. Number 6 was don't worry about nothing that hasn't happened yet. Graham, again, gives very personal stories. I think that's why his channel is just so awesome. Is he just tells it how it is. He's very personable, and he always relates his experience to his topic. So you really get to feel like you know Graham. You really feel like you're his friend, even though you've never met him probably. So Graham, you've earned all the every subscriber and all of those things. Thank you for what you're doing. So yeah, no reason to stress out, stay up, have insomnia over things that you can't control that haven't happened yet. Buying real estate, thinking about a fire that's going to destroy the property makes no sense. There are risks out there. Control the controllable, but don't overcomplicate things. So I thought Graham's list of 6 millionaire habits that he wished he knew at 20 was pretty powerful. I want to give you mine, but realize I'm going to give you mine as a married man. I was married at 19, so my experience at 20 is vastly different than Graham's. Right or wrong, it's just different. So number 1, same deal, as I indicated earlier, delayed gratification, live below your means. This is something I believe everyone should do. We should all save more. If we've learned anything in this health crisis, is having an emergency fund or some stuff tucked away just gives us more comfort. Because if you don't, you got to start making some pretty bad decisions. And yeah, that's not good. So again, totally agree with Graham. Number 1, delayed gratification, live below your means. Just do it, please. Do yourself a favor, try to do that. Number 2, I want to tell you about the most valuable class. I believe Graham in one of the other videos I watched talked about he went to college, but he didn't finish. I think he went to 1 quarter or 1 semester. I actually finished college and actually went back and got a master's degree in economics. And I can tell you the most valuable class I ever took was actually in junior college. It was called public speaking. Think about that. I've taken advanced accounting, lots of economics, business, management, marketing, business law. Oh, I've taken oodles and oodles of classes, and my most valuable class was public speaking. I think it was my 2nd year of junior college. Much of life is about communication. Much of life is about oral communication. I don't care what degree you are getting, go take a public speaking class. I don't care if you're a high school dropout, go take a public speaking class. I don't care if you're 60 years old, go take a public speaking class. It's terrifying. I understand. I've been there. You get over it. You get uncomfortable a few times, you stumble, you say, you can work it out. And again, I've told this story before about when I was a pre-sales engineer coming up in a small company. I gave my presentation 100 times to nobody in the room. Do the work. Make it second nature. Public speaking, again, most valuable class I've ever taken. Number 3, I believe in your 20s, you should look for a commission-based job if that is something you are comfortable having. The ability to be on commission does a couple of things. First off, it adds immediate stress. You have a quota around your neck. You could have weekly, monthly, or quarterly numbers, and you're going to hump it. You're going to get after it, and you're going to find out if you've got it or if you're going to crumble. And if you got it, you're going to understand what accelerators are all about. I believe commission-based sales is the thing that really is that kind of pressure that creates a diamond. And again, if you can survive in that environment, and you could, if you're selling ads and then you're selling computers and then you're selling software, you can make a really, really good living. Again, going back to number one, living below your means, bank the delta, invest it, and really set yourself up for financial freedom. I'm telling you, if you can do it, getting a commission-based job is very powerful. My first commission-based job was at Sears and Roebuck, getting 1 to 3% on hardware, craftsman items. I remember the first time I made $1,000 in a week. It was around, I think it was the 2 weeks before Christmas. I think I was 15. That's a lot of money. And you got to remember, I'm old, so that was in the 80s. That was pretty good for a high school grad, or somebody. I was in high school and made that. It was awesome. Number 4, I would put your savings on autopilot. Seriously, I would take your paycheck. If you're not putting in 401k because you can't or you don't have it, get a separate account, different banking institution, and just peel off 10, 8, 12, some percentage, and then just have that build over time. Live on less. Kind of ties into number 1. Number 1 is delayed gratification, but here at number 4, I want you to live on less. Get comfortable living on less. That is something that I wish I had done and failed at miserably, because I spent every penny through my 20s. Dumb, 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 dumb. Here's the one every 20-year-old I think needs to hear. I can look at your 5 closest friends, and I can have a pretty good guess at where you're going. Your network is your future. Now, sure, some change, but think about that. Are your 5 closest friends playing video games and smoking pot all day? Are they out there trying new things? Are they trying to create little side hustles? Are they looking at real estate? Are they going to conferences? Are they doing the work? Are they giving it a shot? Or are they just sitting around bitching about this and that? You need to look yourself in the mirror at 20 and go, I want more out of life. I'm not sure these other 5 spoiled brats want more out of life. Think about that. And then, of course, number 6, a 20-year-old needs to hear this. The rat race is real. At 20, you're right on the outside. You're just about to start the game. Do you want to work 40 hours for 40 years to live on 40%? All right? I was already married at 20. I was in the rat race. At 20, most of you aren't, but you were just about to get in the journey. Do you want to work 40 hours for 40 years to live on 40%? If you don't, you got to do some other things. You got to live below your means. You got to save. You got to invest. You got to get after it. So again, those are my 6. Again, I couldn't do one of these reviews without looking at one of Stephan's videos. It really amazes me how personable he is and how he relates personal stories. There's no wonder he has such a wild success in YouTube and deserves everything he is doing. The fact that he's made $7 million, just round up at 30, is awesome. I bought my first rental at 30. So to think that he's already there at 30 is pretty amazing. So at the end of the day, that's a live stream. I think those are Graham's 6 things and my 6. We have one in common. Hopefully there's good, 10 good ideas for you to take. Take care, everyone. Bye.